രാജശ്രീ വെങ്കിട്ടരമണൻ 130 വാക്ക് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഷോർട്ട് ആൻഡ് സ്പീഡ് ഡിക്റ്റേഷനാണ് വായിക്കുന്നത്. ഇത് 57-ാമത്തെയാണ്. എല്ലാ സ്പീഡുകളും നിങ്ങൾ 2-3 പ്രാവശ്യം എഴുതി ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. എന്നാലേ ഉദ്ദേശിച്ച കാര്യം കിട്ടുകയുള്ളൂ. എൻ്റെ ഈ ചാനലിൽ ധാരാളം ഫ്രേസസ് ഞാൻ എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, അത് നോക്കി പഠിക്കുക. യുവർ ഹൈനസ് ലേഡീസ് ആൻഡ് ജെന്റിൽമെൻ, 10 years ago when I had the good fortune of being present on the historic occasion of the inaugural ceremony of your university, I rejoiced to find out that a very momentous step had been taken by one of the most distinguished and far-seeing rulers of India. Since then, I have always been closely watching the progress of your university, little thinking that I should one day be called upon to deliver its convocation address. Allow me, therefore, to offer my sincere thanks for the honor you have done me and to assure you how greatly I value it. At the very outset, I must confess that I feel not a little nervous to address you in the presence of a Vice Chancellor whose knowledge and attainments and whose extraordinary power of synthesis are at once the wonder and despair of literacy men in India. It is therefore on your patience and kindness that I must rely to be able to discharge my task successfully. Karnataka is one of the most progressive and enlightened feudatory states in India, and the experiment which you have started here is being watched with intense interest all over the country by persons connected with universities not only in sister states but also in British India proper. I shall avail myself of this opportunity to give expression to my thoughts on certain aspects of the educational problem with these long years of the closest association with young men and educational institutions both at home and abroad have forced upon me the clearness with which the vision of an ideal university stands before me today is undoubtedly the result of the great process of elimination working connected or unconsciously for more than 30 years of my educational experience. And let me not be misunderstood if I begin by saying that the problem of education here or elsewhere has, in the main, not been handled with the intelligence and sagacity which it deserves. To be frank, we in India have, since the British occupation of our country, always regarded our educational problems from a point of view which is purely British. Though it may not be true at the present moment, there is, I'm sure, no one here who can deny the fact that until very recently, we, the Indians, conveniently relegated the task of evolving our educational institutions to our rulers who, as it was natural for them, transplanted their home institutions to our soil. The outstanding differences between the ancient or medieval university and the modern is the merely cultural aspect of the former and the cultural and vocational traits of the latter. In ancient and medieval times, the differences between university and school education were instinctively regulated both as regards extent and object. This was possible as many of the learned professions had not then been clearly outlined, nor had so many come into existence. The system offered a more or less satisfactory solution of the ordinary educational requirements of the people of the time, the higher learning being mainly sought by those who had scholarly instincts. With the coming into existence of many learned professions, later on social and economic necessity led many more to seek training in these higher institutions. But when the inrush became disproportionate to the demand and some of the universities through want of paper perception, allowed their halls to be used. The unsuitable character of the modern system become apparent. We this notice the more thoughtful universities changing their character from an examining body to teaching one.